Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Rishabh Gulati. Amid the hectic polls that are underway in Jammu and Kashmir and poll season in Haryana, gearing up in Delhi and Maharashtra, the Narendra Modi-led government has completed another 100 days of its third term. So 3,500 days plus 100 days later, their report card has come out. Joining us now on the broadcast is Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Piyush ji, really appreciate your time for joining us to have this conversation. Now, 100 days, sir, into this third term, Lakpati Diti expansion, MSP boost. What are your biggest highlights from the report card?
I think what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had promised the people, he has delivered. He had promised that he will work with 3 times the speed, he'll put in 3 times the effort, he'll have 3 times more the number of programs, and he'll come out with 3 times more outcomes. In his third term, in the very first 100 days, he has demonstrated his ability to think big. He has brought speed, he has brought scale, and is focused on skill. And truly, look at the amount of work that has happened. Whether it is 3 crore more homes for the poor to be built in the next 5 years, whether it's spending 3 lakh crores on women's welfare in the budget, or ensuring that 3 lakh crore is spent on infrastructure in the first 100 days. He has provided 2 lakh crores for 4 crore youth to be skilled and for their employment. At the same time, he has brought in game-changing reform, whether it is on sustainability, whether it's on electric mobility, whether it's on providing infrastructure for industrialization. 12 new industrial townships have been approved, adding to the 8 already there, 20 industrial townships forming a necklace for industrialization, smart cities, promoting investment, creating jobs, work opportunities. In a way, he's a man in a hurry. He built a strong macroeconomic foundation in his first 10 years.
Okay.
He's building a tall skyscraper on this foundation in his third term.
Okay, so for people who felt, Minister, that in a coalition without an absolute majority this time, that the government agenda is going to stall, what is your response?
I think on the contrary, the governance agenda has only got stronger, because 10 years ago we had inherited a fragile economy. We had inherited despondency, a broken mood of the nation. 10 years ago, the world looked down upon India. In the 10 years of the Modi government, we have built a strong foundation, $689 billion of forex reserves. Anybody had ever imagined India being one of the top 5 countries in the world in terms of forex reserves? Anybody in the world had ever imagined that India's inflation will be amongst the lowest in the world? 3.5–4% today. Anybody in the world had imagined India will be the fastest growing large economy in the world, expected to grow at breakneck speed for the next 2 or 3 decades, and growing from a $3.5 trillion to a $35 trillion economy in the next 30 years. Who had thought that in the next 3 years, India is well on path to become the 3rd largest economy of the world? So I think this government in its third term continues with the same confidence, the same spirit of the first 10 years. We have a strong coalition, our friends are intact, and people trust Prime Minister Modi. Even in the 10 years when we've had an absolute majority of the BJP alone, we took members of all our National Democratic Alliance in the government. When people could have jolly well felt that we wouldn't take a Telugu Desam minister in 2014, or a Nitish Kumar-led JDU minister in 2014, or Ram Vilas Paswan as a minister, or you can see that we have respected the coalition dharma even in the first 10 years. Therefore, the partners trust Prime Minister Modi. As I said in an earlier occasion, we are like the Fevicol glue. ये रिश्ता टूटेगा नहीं.
Okay, all right.
तोड़ने से भी टूट नहीं सकता.
Okay, Fevicol, fair enough. All right, but Minister, before I get into the politics, and we will discuss the politics, let me ask you the practical questions on policy matters first. You are a Lok Sabha member of Parliament from Maharashtra now. please, what is this Vadhavan port in Maharashtra? Why is it important to India's future and how will it benefit Maharashtra?
Rishabh, Vadhavan port is the country's largest port and the deepest port. It will allow mother vessels, large vessels, which otherwise cannot find berth in India's shallow ports. Most of our ports don't have very great deep water levels near the port. This will be almost 18 meters plus. So this level of deep port, it will be amongst the top 10 ports in the world and will totally transform the ecosystem around the port, encourage industrialization, encourage large vessels to berth here. It's right north of my own constituency of North Mumbai. So it will have an impact on Mumbai and its surrounding areas. Also, 76,000 crore will be invested in the port initially. But more and more berths can come up. So we'll have international companies setting up their own berths along with the basic infrastructure that the government will create. And I believe it will add to India's international trade in a very big way.
Okay, if you want export-driven growth, you have to sort out logistics costs. So Vadhavan port, watch out for that. Okay, Minister. Now please explain to us this other latest project, Bharat Startup Knowledge Registry. What is this about?
Bhaskar, we call it Bhaskar, like the rising sun. And we are trying to bring the entire startup ecosystem on one platform. It will have mentoring of young startups. It will have ability to raise finance through the Bhaskar startup. It will provide information about all our startups through the length and breadth of the country so they can engage with each other. The world will know about the strengths and the innovations and the bright ideas of our young men and women, and it will provide an opportunity for them to engage with international players. It will provide an opportunity for young startups, maybe in tier 2, tier 3 cities, to show their wares, to show their offerings. It is somewhat like Shark Tank on television, a one-stop shop for today's startups and the startups of tomorrow.
All right. Now, in the infrastructure delivery route, what is actually being done to roll out investments? Now, you please explain to our viewers, what is this National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation and how and where, when you say we will develop a new Silicon Valley, where is that going to happen in India?
Rishabhji, Prime Minister Modi first approved 4 industrial townships, smart cities, in Dholera, Gujarat, in Sambhajinagar, Shendra-Benkin in Maharashtra, in Noida, Greater Noida near Delhi in Uttar Pradesh, and one in Madhya Pradesh, Vikram Udyogpuri, which has transformed the Ujjain belt. Each of these 4 have been success stories, runaway success stories. I remember Shendra-Benkin, we had imagined that we will attract investment of probably 10 or 15,000 crores. It has already attracted investment of 60,000 crores. And we still haven't sold half of the land available there. After that, we approved 4 more townships, industrial smart cities, which are under development in Tumkuru in Karnataka, Krishnapatnam in Andhra, and the likes. Now, we have approved 12 more. So 20 smart cities across the length and breadth of the country, from as far away as Gaya in Bihar to Zahirabad in Telangana, smart city coming up in Maharashtra across the Dighi port, a whole necklace of smart cities which will provide the most modern infrastructure and opportunities for industry, for investment. And I just rovingly mentioned that we can dedicate one of these smart cities to become the Silicon Valley of tomorrow. We are talking to Singapore, we are talking to Switzerland to see if we can have partnership with these countries, set up dedicated smart cities to attract investment from these countries.
Okay.
So it's an effort to create modern ecosystems which will suit investors from different areas.
All right, Minister Goyal, before we move on, I have to ask you, how is the India-UK trade deal conversation, negotiation going?
Well, we just have a new government there. Prime Minister Modi is running his third term, so there's a lot of continuity. But UK has seen a change of government. The Labour Party and my colleague minister there is getting a grip on things. I've had 2 meetings with him, one before the election, one after the election, and he's sought some more time to really be briefed and be up to mark.
Okay.
Then we'll restart the negotiations with the Labour government.
All right. Now, I can't leave without asking you about what has just happened in Delhi. We now have potentially Chief Minister Atishi. Arvind Kejriwal is back. He's saying he's claiming vindication after getting bail. What do you make of all of this?
I don't think it's vindication. It's an open and shut case of corruption. I think he has realized that with him as the front face, there's no chance the people of Delhi will even accept any Aam Aadmi Party candidate. I think they were forced to change the Chief Minister. I welcome Ms. Atishi. I hope she'll do better. I hope she will not run a kind of government that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal ran. Corrupt and non-development was the core agenda of the Aam Aadmi Party. But I think the people of Delhi have seen through the governance failures of the Aam Aadmi Party. And in the next election, whenever it is held, the BJP will come back into government in Delhi and provide a good, honest, development-oriented government.
I think the people of Delhi just need peace amongst the politicians. Okay, sir, Rahul Gandhi traveling to America this time. Now, when he goes abroad and he says pretty much that India is in trouble, do you then get counter-questioned on that? Is it awkward then trying to sign the trade pacts and get the tech investments?
It doesn't affect our work, but really, world leaders, my counterparts, other governments are amused that how can you have a country where a leader, a political party's leader, goes out and berates his own country, runs down his own country on foreign soil. Just 2 days back, I had a parliamentary delegation from Norway. There were members of parliament of all parties, but they spoke highly about their country. They were marketing their country to me. I had, before that, parliamentary party, multi-party delegations of so many countries, but they never run down their government. They always speak high about their government. They always speak about increasing trade. They always speak about increasing engagement. It's so sad and deplorable that a leader of the Congress party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is also the leader of opposition, doesn't even understand how, what is the behavior that is expected when you're on foreign soil. I think he needs to take a lesson from his late grandmother, who had refused to respond to a journalist's question, which would not have spoken well about her motherland in Britain, I think 40 or 50 years ago.
Okay, now quickly, sir, elections in Maharashtra soon. For those writing off the BJP, how's the alliance holding up?
On the contrary, the Mahayuti will have a runaway victory in Maharashtra. The people of Maharashtra are regretting that 11 members of parliament of BJP lost by very small margins, less than 2% of the total vote base. And the people of Maharashtra have resolved to bring back the Mahayuti in full strength so that the double-engine government in the center in Maharashtra can serve the people of Maharashtra.
Okay, all right. As you know, as I mentioned in the beginning, elections on in Jammu and Kashmir as we speak. In a very practical sense, have we, aside from the politics and 370 and whatnot, have we done enough to bring trade and investment to Jammu and Kashmir?
The state has transformed ever since Article 370 and 35A went off the statute book. Look at the industry investment numbers. Look at the tourism numbers. Look at the reaching of so many welfare schemes to the common man at the bottom of the pyramid. Look at the revival of so many hydro projects, power being available, water going to the remotest corners. When I last went to Kashmir, I inspected the Jal Jeevan mission schemes, and water was reaching the last man in the villages. So I think game-changing development has
Okay, all right. Minister, I know I'm short of time on this, but thank you as always for discussing both on matters of policy and politics with us. Really appreciate your time. You have a good day, sir. And with that, we take a break. See you in a minute.